Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video, Thursday, the 18th of July, 2024. And yeah, this is your Bitcoin crypto update. Something I always forget to do. These videos and these streams now very kindly sponsored by Blofin. The link for this is in the description below. You get a nice 20% fee rebate, a 50% share of the fee rebates, plus 10% deposit bonus. So if you deposit $10,000, you get $1,000 free to trade with, and some additional nice volume bonuses over there as well. So do check out the link in the description below, and we'll get into the Bitcoin analysis here. So starting off on the weekly, we've had after last week, which was a real decent bouncy candle, we've had another one of those today. So barely any downside momentum. We did put in a slight low after the weekly open, so we're not looking at a wickless candle that needs to be retraced so much, but we do have a very minimal wick on that weekly. And now acceptance back inside the value area of this entire range here. So we had that close just below the lows of the range, and now we're getting this open and close back inside value area, back inside the range. And it looks like a very, very good sign of strength from the market. So I now am back almost fully into bull market mode, and I do believe, I still think it's possible that we see a correction from this, and we do see this previous, our current week open being tested maybe next week. I am still expecting a move back down to test that 60K area at some stage, but I think that would be a really nice area to bid into. Now, on the weekly time frame as well, we do have a little gap here on the weekly, and I think the weekly close is going to be fairly significant here. Can it get that close above that 65K area? Which I think if we do get that close, it just increases the probability further that we're going to be breaking all-time highs. Now, once again, that doesn't mean that you can't retrace and break all-time highs and do this kind of thing. I think regardless of the weekly close, we're still going to be going to new all-time highs before, and actually not going to be taking these lows, not ever again, because next bear market they'll probably go. But certainly, I think for the rest of the year, we're looking at a real good low now. And if it does go lower, it would still be an area in which to accumulate for myself. So weekly time frame's looking healthy. On the daily, it's also looking very healthy. Okay, you can see we're just consolidating within this weekly gap here, where we have what was support. You had this OB. You put in a bit of a distribution above. We had that double top. You then lose the POC, drop down. A fairly not impulsive move at this stage. It did get impulsive afterwards, but just mainly just slow grind down. And we're trading back within that area again here. So if you draw this to the left, you can see it's been a real nice SR level for almost the entire range. It is the midpoint of this range, around about that golden pocket retrace from this high to low. But it is, it's a decent range and a decent SR level to be aware of right now if you extend that left. Now, what we're seeing today, of course, is we have had the back test into the previous day open. So we had yesterday's open, we put in a little spike above. We got that retrace back down into the 4-hour gap. That has held, and we're back up towards that daily open. I still do believe that we can continue to push higher up towards 67K. These retraces are looking good, and we are still absolutely looking at this as being a parabolic move higher that is increasing in momentum as we go higher. And I would therefore expect that to continue until we start to break down from some of these levels here. So when you're looking at the momentum is clearly still moving up, and these dips are opportunities to buy. You go down onto the 30-minute, and it was really nice here. You had this double bottom with a single print next to it, and what happened yesterday? Okay, price comes down, sweeps them. Let's draw that again. Price comes down, sweeps these lows, holds the support. And then we are seeing, once again, continuation up here. Now, the sticky level that it's got to get through is that previous day open. You can see it has tested back into that. All right, there is an opportunity where this could retrace, look to take out some lows down around about that 62,200. But if it can break through that previous day open, I would fully expect a move up towards 67K today, and going into tomorrow to close the week off quite strong. The only other thing that you'd have to say is if this does start to roll over here, then we are looking at maybe some kind of like head and shoulders formation forming here, which could lead us once again, like I say, to that 200 area to fill in some of these imbalances before getting another bounce. So it's all level to level, pretty straightforward, and just trading the momentum right now, which at the moment is higher. So any dips that we get, you would have to look at those as being good buying opportunities now, once again, especially I think on the altcoins. Now, there's not a whole lot more to say from this. If we look at our session volume profile, okay, and we just go on to the lower time frames here and we look at our previous day POC, we can see that we did have a PD POC that is well within value of this whole range that we've been trading. So we've just been trading, once again, like we were just speaking about, the value within this range is around that 1 week gap, and everything, like any imbalance that has been created within this little range that we're trading in, has been quickly corrected, and we are seeing that continuation generally higher despite there being a small corrective day yesterday. What else do we have on here? Is there anything else on the chart that we need to look at? We're above VWAP right now, but it's not looking like a momentum day. It's looking more like a ranging day, and we need to get a bit of volume in order to see that push through previous day open. If it can push through previous day open with volume, I think that would be a great opportunity to take a long position to aim for those 67k overall range points of control, which, as you can see, there it is. There's your 67k POC. If it went to 66,900, that kind of thing, that is the area that you would be looking for as a rejection, and maybe that will be the push to then take us back down towards 60k to make that higher low before we go and make all-time highs later on in the summer. So keeping it simple, and that keeping that plan basically for now. What else do we have to say? If we go towards the order flow, there's nothing more on here, is there? We can look at the TPO. Let's just look at the TPO quickly, if that will load up. It may not do. Nah, you know what? We're going to skip the TPO because the POCs are the same. There are a couple of MPOCs that are lower. We are aware of those. They coincide with where the CME gap is down here at 58. I'm not really looking at that as being the highest probability play right now. And I've spoken about this in previous streams, where when you get a breakaway gap like this, the market doesn't need to come and correct it. Okay, it's a change in momentum, and once again, the gaps that you need to be aware of is if you're mid-trend and you gap up, then the market will often seek to correct that before getting that continuation. But if you are looking at a shift in momentum, let's say you've been in this uptrend and then it gaps down, you're not expecting that gap to get filled. Okay, that is a momentum shift, and the whole point of that is a gap is actually something that you want to see remain in the charts, because you do not want to give an exit for positions that are trapped. Otherwise, there's kind of no point in doing it in the first place. Okay, if you're going to have a shift in momentum, you've got to do it with an impulse. You've got to do it with, as we've seen on this occasion, do it with strength and not come back down to that gap. That gap is something that maybe we can think about in the next bear market, but if we are bullish here, we shouldn't be filling it. If we do fill it, of course, it is a level to trade from. That would be a really nice higher low. It comes into around about our 786 right now. So I think if we do draw a fib from low to high here, not even that. So we're just below the 618. So if there is to be that move towards 67, then that will bring us into that 702, 786 kind of zone. That will fill up a lot of the imbalance below. You could still take that as a higher low. But what I'm saying is don't expect that there's a guarantee that this will happen. Like with these other gaps, you almost can see them as being a bit of a guarantee that you're going to fill them. That's not necessarily the case on this occasion. However, repeat, if we do trade into it, still a nice area to bid if that does happen. Now, going on to the order flow, we've had a 9th day in a row, I believe, of ETF inflows. So despite yesterday being slightly corrective, okay, and just by corrective, like sideways, right? There's a lot of mess in the background. We have had a 9th day of ETF inflows. Now, we haven't seen many occasions where it's gone beyond that. So, and still right now it's pretty chill here. So you're not getting these mass inflows like we saw early on. It's fairly calm, but also we do have to be aware that there's probably going to be another ETF narrative that starts probably next week. I do believe that the ETH ETFs are going to be trading, I would imagine, before the end of this month, probably next week. So that is something that we do need to be looking at. And I think that could give another spark. Even though it's not Bitcoin, I do believe that the ETH ETF could be something really useful. Now we go over on to here and look at our CVD. Now we can see that yesterday was a bit of a profit-taking day from spot. The reasons for that being, I mean, you're up quite high. It is just a bit of a profit-taking day. We're not seeing any major movements here. And perps, of course, managing to hold quite well. If we do see spot picking up, what you don't want to see on this occasion is perps start to move higher. Okay, you create those divergences against this high here where perps move up like this, make a new high here, and spot isn't really following. But if we do see spot starts to pick up, what I think we're going to need to see to break through that previous day open is some spot buying. And if that does happen, then I think we can be pushing on once again towards those higher targets. Anything else that we really need to say? There's not a whole lot more. Like overall, the market's again green today. Fairly well. You got some pullbacks, but this is from a 24-hour type of thing, so it's going to end up green later on. We still have that spot premium here, which means that the funding rates are favorable for long positions. But overall, it's relatively neutral here, and we're just trading the I've done that Blofin thing again. When I get back onto this screen, it does that. So yeah, I think realistically, that's all I have to say for today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Continue on with the stream. Have a little look at the alt market and so on, and we'll just leave it there. So let's see how it goes. Right now, you can maybe be looking at short positions from previous day open to target these lows, but let's see if we can get that final push up. That for me would be the nicer confluence there to get a move down once again afterwards. Cool. Right. Thank you. See you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.